Joining us today for Primetime Local News is artist AV, who is hosting a live release show on Tuesday, the 23rd at 7 p.m. for her song called Anything I Know. Thank you so much for speaking with us today.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Now, what can fans expect from this live show?
The plan, which is, and sometimes things don't go according to plan, of course, but first we're going to screen the brand new video that nobody's seen yet at all. It's not released. It won't be released till further on in the month, like the end of the month. So this is an opportunity for all the people who were participating in the video, because there are a lot of people. It's like filmed in the whole neighborhood. And also part of it was filmed during an outside concert on my front porch. So all the people that were part of it are invited to come and check it out. And then also the people and the members of the public who buy tickets for the show.
What initially made you want to host this for listeners?
Well, in part, I didn't have a budget to pay everybody. So that kind of like a thank you for just taking their time out of their day to be part of it and be positive in it and cooperative. And it's kind of like every Sunday afternoon for the whole pandemic, whenever the weather would allow for it and the restrictions would allow for it, we had concerts on my front porch, which is why it kind of ended up being a video. That was the reality of what we did. Me and some friends and singers and other musicians. Just a free concert every Sunday for the neighborhood and whoever showed up from other parts of the city. And so it's sort of just a continuity of that, really, because now, of course, it's very cold and we're not having concerts outdoors for obvious reasons, but we're gonna have an indoor one, but in the neighborhood too. The venue is right in the neighborhood, so kind of like our first indoor porch concert in a way.
Now, do you think we'd be able to get a sneak peek or a teaser about what this song is really all about?
Sure. Well, yeah. It's the first track on my new album, and I've only released, this is the third single that I've released from it. So the song is out already. It's called Anything I Know, and 2 other songs, but the rest of the album is only available through my website right now, either digitally or in physical or CD format. And the whole album I wrote living in this neighborhood where I am right now in my house. It's called Macaulay in Edmonton. It's in the inner city. And especially the opioid crisis has been a really very affected this neighborhood in a very big way. It's impossible to not really notice. It's really in your face here. There's been a lot of deaths and a lot of near deaths basically on the hour, if not more often. And homelessness and obviously addiction and mental illness kind of all is intertwined into those things. Some are symptoms, it's hard to know what's the symptom and what's the root sometimes. So yeah, that's and it's also, so that whole thing, I've lived here for almost 14 years now, and so the last few albums that I've written have been with those sort of things in mind. Like, they're really impossible to ignore when you live here. Mm-hmm. So they entered into my writing as a result, and just the sort of issues that you'd think, but including the issues of like your own self and how you fit into the mix, like myself, fitting into the mix as what is colonialism and what is privilege, and also, but also just that you're not nearly as together. You sort of have this idea that some people are so together and other people are just totally not coping, but really that there's a spectrum and that you can be on it in different sides of it depending on the day and the week, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's what the record's about. And then Anything I Know itself, the song, is I got the idea for writing it because I had this image in my mind that I saw of a couple sitting on the top of the hill of the river valley near here who were totally in love. It seemed very opposite. They were really in love, but they were really down and out, maybe homeless, I don't know. And just having a little picnic on the top of the hill overlooking the lights of the city where all the nightclubs are and the expensive high rises and the downtown kind of vibe. And so it just seemed like they were fully content and happy despite their material situation, material wealth situation. And so the song is meant to be hopeful in that, like, the whole tag, the whole line of it is, you got a way of looking at me that's better than anything I know. And then that gets repeated a whole bunch of times in the end.
Just for people that may be unaware, where all can they access this online?
Yeah, I made a Facebook event for it, but those can be hard to find. If people go to my own site, annvriend.com, that's ANNVRIEND.com, I put it there, my calendar. Oh, but the venue also has the tickets, like, for sale and stuff up about it as well, it's called Collab, and you can find it online at Collab Yeg, I think it is, and they're right in the hood. And they've been really good supporters of the local inner city scene, especially. So it's a good fit.
Perfect. Well, once again, thank you so much for joining us today, AV.
Yeah, no problem. It was thanks for having me, and I hope that people as far as Lloydminster can make it out.